9 o'clock, and our guest this morning, Toke Makinwa, is an award-winning multimedia personality who has built a remarkable media profile in Nigeria and now taking the brand to the rest of the world. Her career started on radio in 2010, then transitioned to television, then her own YouTube show, as well as this weekend, I can tell you that she is visiting us here in South Africa to wrap up an international tour of launching her best-selling memoir on becoming Toke Makinwa. This is a must-tell. Toke joins us now in our studios here in Johannesburg to take this conversation further. Toke, good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming through.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's very cold this morning in Johannesburg. The weather has been a bit okay since we landed, but this morning the chills were like, ooh, but then I'm loving it.
I can imagine. But are you loving South Africa so far?
Yes, the people are so friendly and very warm. We're all Africans, and it's very nice to visit an African country where you feel at home, and everyone has something nice to say to you. You guys are huggers. Everyone wants to give you a hug, and just, really bright and chirpy people, and I think that's really exciting.
And one thing I'm quite sure of is when we were putting your pictures on the screen, a lot of people have mistaken you for Bonang.
Yes.
And you get a lot of that.
She's my twin. I keep saying that.
Twin from another African country.
I think we were switched at birth. It's so funny how we're
Possibly so. You guys look alike.
And we're so alike as well.
And in everything that you do, from your careers to your fashion, your sense, and everything.
And it's also nice to see in a world where, we're constantly pressure to be against each other, being in the media, the world constantly wants to put you against each other. It's nice and refreshing to see two women who absolutely support themselves and absolutely want the best for each other. It's amazing how we talk about everything. She's like, oh, have you thought about doing this or doing that? And I can say the same thing to her. And, we both have books out now. So it wasn't planned. It's just great minds think alike.
And it's good that you guys talk to each other and, trying to uplift one another. Unlike, your PhD syndrome, trying to pull one another down. But now, let's just get on to your book, On Becoming Toke Makinwa.
Yes.
A must-tell.
It is.
This is where you tell everything about you.
Yes, everything so far. There's still more to be told, but it was very important to put out this book. I call it a project that was divinely given to me by God, because I'm quick to tell everyone that I'm a Jesus girl. And, God has been so faithful in terms of, even through the course of my career and my life. And I did go through a very dark period. And, what was so heartbreaking in that time was that a lot of people would see me and think, you're so strong, you're so strong, you're so strong, you keep moving. And there were times that I didn't always feel strong. There were times that I was, struggling just to barely, make it through each day. And it's important for women in our status, in our field, in our career, to send the right message to the world. So people see the glitz and the glamour and think that's what you're all about. But it's important to also let them know that you go through same and similar things as they go through. And, life is in phases and stages. Just because you're down now doesn't mean that you'd always be down. So it's always nice to sort of see someone walk through the fire, come out on the other side, and tell it how it is, so that people who may find themselves in that situation could be like, this person went through it, they didn't die, just maybe I will survive. And that's really what it's about.
No, they've got to know about the pains, and I know one of your worst pains was losing your parents.
Yes, both of them. I buried both my parents on the same day, and I was only 8 when that happened. And the crop of 8-year-olds today are so much smarter than the crop of 8-year-olds that we were,
back then,
thanks to technology and the access to a lot of things that they can lay their hands on. So it was a difficult period and a different kind of tragedy and pain, because I grew up not expressing how I really felt. Now, when this happened to me with my private life being in the tabloids and everyone talking about the crash of my marriage, it took me back to certain places that I hadn't fully discovered. So I realized I was a very angry teenager. I was very rebellious, and I couldn't tell why. Now, this happened to me. It was sort of like, the universe jolting me back to reality and saying there's issues and things that you need to sort out, because God is taking you to certain places. And until you're through with those baggages, until you can forgive yourself and just, breathe in the now, you may not actually grasp it. So for anyone out there who is battling the loss of a loved one, or maybe the loss of a job, a career, and is thinking this is the end of the world, it's very important that you realize that things happen for you to teach you so that you can be better equipped for where you're going in the future.
Yeah, I so wish we had so much time to talk to you, but thank you so much for having visited us here, and all the best. The book, is it available?
Yes, it is available on Amazon, on iTunes. It's available here in South Africa as well. We're going to be launching it tomorrow, so it's going to be a Hyde Park corner, so people can come through and, you know, grab a copy, take pictures, and we can chit-chat some more.
Chit-chat, yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, and all the best going forward.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. Well, that is Toke Makinwa talking to us about her visit in South Africa, but most importantly, talking to us about her book on becoming Toke Makinwa, which is a must-tell, as she says. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have